1 2 was the podcast. 1 2 was the podcast. We are back. Episode 103. Excuse me. What's the podcast? Episode
You all right?
103. Yeah,
You
we
all
good. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I gotta. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready for my. I got a performance I got to put on this week. You feel
That's
me?
not the Rona cough, is it?
Nah, that's the cough. So I make sure I get the shot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's the performance you got put on.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
okay, that was
We'll
practice.
Talk, yeah,
that's
we'll
practice.
talk about that in a
All
second,
right.
no doubt.
They're not gonna give it to you if you sick. They're not gonna give it to you.
Chill. Listen, what's the podcast? episode 103 was the
Chill.
They're walking there
podcast.
without a cough, motherfucker.
Listen, we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's the podcast? Episode 103. We are back. DJ Jerome Baker III. I am here. I am healthy.
Rona free.
Obviously, yeah, Rona free. Shout out to man.
There we
Always
go.
available. Hashtag Streetwear Eddie.
What up? What up?
And don't charge Abdul.
Episode 103. Let's go,
Episode
man.
103. We want to make sure we give a shout out to our fourth member who's here in spirit but never here on the screen. Shout out to Lex. Shout out to Imran. You know what I'm saying? OG245. We have a bunch of really loyal listeners who've been
Shout out to
tapping
y'all.
in. Yeah, man. And our last few episodes have just been, the chemistry has been Brooklyn Nets-ish. It's been very, it's been just Harden, Kyrie.
Is that who we are?
KD-ish.
We're the Brooklyn Nets?
We're the Brooklyn Nets of the podcast game. Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that, but all right. I'm with it.
We'll speak about Brooklyn later. We'll speak about Brooklyn later too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with it.
But no doubt. So we
Shout out to Silent Tom, of course.
Shout out to
He's
Silent Tom. I was about to get
you know,
there. Yeah.
Engineer extraordinaire, always in the cut. Silent Tom's picture kind of went viral from last week.
Yo,
The
You know what
streets
I'm saying?
reacted.
The young Silent Tom, 16 years old,
The streets reacted to the Jerry curl.
with
You know
the
what I'm saying?
Jerry
There was a
curl
lot
and the
of-
perm.
Yeah,
you
there was
know?
there was a lot of love, just a lot of sort of,
Young Korean heartthrob.
you know what I mean? BTS.
Silent Tom was out here.
Yo,
he was
if
definitely out here.
Yeah.
I think there was a
Lover boy.
party. There was a party or there was a DJ night, I believe, and it was Silent Tom, Sung, and Ryan Kibler. And I think they had like a
The Korean trio.
yeah, but I think they had like a party or something like that. I think it was, I forget. Maybe
They
it
had a
was
party to
diet.
see who had the better haircut.
Something. It kind of cracked off from what I remember. You know, what I mean? I was like, man, I really want to DJ, but I'm not Asian, so it's all good.
Shout out to the Asian family, man.
You know what I mean?
Much love to y'all,
Shout
man.
out to the Filipinos out there. See y'all.
Yeah, the Pinoys.
There
Shout
you
out
go.
to my Pinoys.
Pinoy Pinay. You feel me?
Oh, is that
That's-
racist?
No, that's what it is. Like the Pinoy is the dude.
Pinoy
Pinay
kind of
is-
sounds racist. I can't
No,
even
that's-
front. I know.
that's-
I believe it's okay for us to say that.
Yeah, we can say it.
You know what? I might be listening to the wrong person. I don't know
I
if
got
you're in a
mad- I got-
position to say it's okay.
You're just hating because I'm black, but it's all good.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
used to
hating
that.
because none of us are Filipino, and this shit might be wild racist for other people to say.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
We got
Yeah,
Filipino
Roland did give
listeners.
us a pass though. Shout out to
Yeah,
Roland
Roland.
Castro. And if any Filipinos have any issues with us saying the word Pinoy, just know that Roland Castro,
We got
what's
mad
Roland's
Filipino- we got
role
mad
at Commonwealth?
Filipinos vouching for us.
Yeah, and he said it's okay. You can hit him up on @Roland Castro on Instagram. He gave us a pass on saying Pinoy.
Roland is he's the HNIC at Commonwealth. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
listen,
that
creative
thing-
guy, all around good dude, and
that thing don't move without Roland Castro. You feel
That's a
me?
fact.
yeah, and Virginia Beach is fine at 757. Him and
You know what it is.
him and Pusha go way back.
Apparently they do. Okay.
Nah, they
You know
do.
what? Okay.
That's a fact. I remember there was one Howard Homecoming. Roland came out with me, and we went to a spot on F Street. It used to be next door to the old Fifth Column, Eddie, but like in more recent years, what was it called?
I don't know.
Like down
Any-
by Ultra Bar?
Ultra Bar.
Is it Ultra Bar? Yeah, I believe it was Ultra
is
Bar.
Ultra Bar.
Taz was having a party, and we went through that shit. And Pusha was in there, and Push came over and said what's up to Roland and chopped it up with him. Like, that's his man's in them.
VA Beach Days.
Yeah,
You
listen.
feel me?
You know, my man's
Um,
out here.
Yeah, nevertheless, do remember
Shout out
what's-
to Chad Hugo.
it was just his birthday, yeah, for sure.
Oh, happy belated.
He's gonna hear this for sure.
He's a listener. He's a listener. I
Yeah.
got word. I got word.
Respect. So You do remember you listen to What's a Podcast, our archive at whatsapodcast.live. YouTube, What's a Podcast. We're actually kind of killing it on YouTube. And
Is our URL youtube.com/what's a podcast?
I'm not sure. It'll be in the description below. So just
Yeah, I
make sure
think
you
I
click
think
the
we
link
need
in
to
our bio.
highlight that.
Yeah.
Silent Time, maybe you can give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. So
Rate, subscribe, and comment for sure.
for real, we got a
obviously,
lot of comments last week. Actually,
It was a good. Last week
It
was
was
a
a
really
good-
good show. I appreciate
good
it.
good interaction with everybody. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of laughs. People would people thought the shit was hilarious. We came out smoking hot though. The first 5 minutes was we were on 100.
Steaming.
Yeah.
Oh, it was real. It was real. Nevertheless, we're back in the mix, man. It's just another week here in DC. We're now in March, which the first 2 months have kind of gone by quickly.
That's crazy. March
we're
already.
We're seeing, the country's at a breaking point. I think we just saw Texas announce that they're removing all mask mandates.
Yeah, they wilding down
Lifting
there.
all
They're
restrictions.
crazy.
So
100% open.
Texas is doing it next week, but Mississippi actually did it today. Right?
That's
So
insane.
I think what a lot of it comes down to is there was a conference, I believe it was in Florida. It's called the CPAC. It's like where a lot of Republicans go to.
That's the
complain about
conservative
whatever. Yeah.
People's Party or some shit. Didn't
Yeah.
Trump speak at that or something like
Yeah.
that?
So what happened was, and this is what a lot of people are theorizing, is that the Texas governor saw that his numbers at that convention were so low, like his approval numbers among like powerful Republicans were so low that he wanted to do something to raise his numbers. Because there are 4 health experts in Texas that are on the reopening task force, and only one of them got basically spoke to about reopening. You know what I'm saying? So there's just a lot of wildness going on. I think that other states may follow. Obviously, we saw Mississippi. We're seeing Texas. I talked to my brother. He says Arizona's still moving really well in terms of getting vaccinations. Florida,
He's
Texas,
one to talk.
He's got the shot. So you know what I'm
He's
saying.
out
He
here
got the first
wilding
one
out.
down, right? He got the
Nah,
first
he's
one
chilling.
down.
He got the
He
first
didn't.
one
He didn't
down.
give a fuck. He was out here killing it.
Nah,
Even
chill,
before.
chill,
Even
chill.
before the shot. We got to get Kellen on the show one of these days. We might have
One of
to
these
call
da-
him.
No, I mean he works on Wednesday nights, so it's tough. But we'll try to get it squared away.
We can re-record something.
Yeah, we might have to. That might have to be for the Patreon. Or
Well, he
something.
could jump in on his
Patreon.
phone.
Nah. He's got like I'll tell you off air, but it's not possible.
It's something that's not COVID friendly. He's out here. We've already talked about how he moves out here on these streets.
50-50. It's 50-50.
He's crazy. Shout
We'll
out to
see.
Kellen.
Can't be
Yeah,
streaming live from the strip club and shit.
Listen,
Young Jerome.
only if they play the new Sean Paul in the background. Okay,
Yo, listen,
see that.
we got to
Listen.
talk about that. Sean Paul's new album's coming out March 12th. Live and Living.
Tom, you can
Fire.
Tom,
I heard
Tom,
it.
You can put the air horn right there if you want.
Bow, bow,
Tom,
bow,
but-
bow. There we go.
Right there.
Okay.
Silent Time.
So anyway, we're
Come
gonna
on.
move on. We're gonna move on past that, but it is looking a little iffy out here in terms of. I think what they, like I said, he wanted to have his numbers better, and I think also Texas and Florida are getting ready for spring break. And so with spring break, South
man.
Padre Island,
I mean,
all
so
that stuff.
do kids that have been homeschooling this whole fucking year, like, do they go to spring break?
I mean, you still get a spring break.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean? So-
is shit gonna be popping off?
I mean, if you're 20 years old, you're gonna go to Texas.
You're not listening to anybody.
Yeah, you're gonna go.
No
especially-
parent's going to stop you if you want to go to spring break.
Yeah, especially if you already had it, or if you're gonna lie to your parents and be like, "We'll be outside the whole time." You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't
The
go
outside is the new wave. The outside's like, nah, it's cool. I'm outside. Like, I don't have to wear a mask. We could drink.
So there'll
I'm
be
outside.
a billion outside parties. Miami will be on 1 million. You can't go help little poor kids in Africa this spring break. So instead, you know what I'm saying, what you're gonna do? South Padre Island, and you're just gonna turn up with reckless abandon.
Get that COVID numbers up.
Exactly.
Jeez.
So, Texas, man, be safe.
gonna go crazy.
I saw a lot of businesses in Texas that were like, hey, like Kroger, the grocery food store. They were
We
like,
don't care
hey,
what they say, you got to wear a mask in here.
yeah. And there was a whole thread on Twitter, matter of fact, of businesses that were like, hey, you still got to wear this mask. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
Biden came out and actually talked about it, and he said it's a Neanderthal way of thinking or something along those
he
lines.
did say that.
He used the words Neanderthal.
He did. He
which
did.
I liked because he's calling it as it is. And fuck those governors, man. These guys obviously don't fucking care about the public, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't think we're even close. Well, we are kind of close. We're closer to being finished than we were 6 months ago, but we're still a long way off. But
Yeah, but the problem is that we're gonna prolong it if we try to just open up just because.
Yeah,
like, right?
of
Like,
course.
We can't just have low interactions in the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
about to be spring. We know that. Luckily for me, at least what I'm hoping can happen is DC, starting this Friday, is opening up appointments for anybody between 18 and 65 who has a pre-existing
actually, tomorrow,
condition.
Jerome.
No,
tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow. Trust me, I checked.
Bro, it's Thursday, March 4th. I just got the email.
Bro, I got the same email. So
I'm
listen,
telling you right now. I'm going to read it to you.
look
Beginning
at
9
the zip-
a.m. on
look at the zip
Thursday.
codes.
Yeah, your zip code's in here.
No, my zip code. My zip code's not in there. I'm 10.
Okay. All right.
So
I stand corrected.
So, this Friday, if you're between the ages of 18 and 65, live in DC, they're opening it up to everybody with zip codes, right? I mean, if you have a pre-existing condition, all
Yeah.
zip codes are open. I have asthma.
Yeah.
I think it's a good amount of.
Rome gonna be up there with the inhaler in his hand. Like, hold on a second.
I'll be at my computer.
He's about to be out there with the oxygen tank like the
I'll be
old
at my-
mafia
I'll be at
bosses
my
in the
computer.
trials
What?
with the oxygen tank and on wheels dragging that shit around.
I'm gonna reset my internet the night before. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure nothing's
Yeah,
on.
7 a.m., huh?
I think it's 9. I think it's 9 a.m.
Okay, 9
But
a.m.
Either way, I'm ready to get my appointment.
Yeah.
Can you buy a bot? They got COVID bots.
Let's hit up Joe Herbert and
Yeah,
and
you
see
know
if you
what
could
I'm
get a
saying?
bot to get this vaccination appointment.
So I mean, there's just I think I think DC has done a good job. I mean, DC
Yeah.
is one of the only cities that isn't allowing sports fans at basketball games. Like,
I like that.
Many other cities, including my beloved Phoenix, have opened up, different levels. One place has like 750 people. Some places have 3,000 people.
Damn.
But
I think I saw some report that said since Biden has been in, it's been about 50 or 60 million vaccinations already.
75.
75. Okay.
Yeah,
so
75 million vaccinations, and they've
Listen.
actually. He said 300 million by the end of May.
July.
which
Oh, he moved it up.
Moved it up.
Initially,
So it's-
a couple of weeks ago, he said
Correct.
July. So
But because of Merck and Johnson & Johnson working together, it moved up.
Got it.
The timeline. Johnson & Johnson and Merck shipped 4 million yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on what it looks like, if I get my appointment for next week, I might just get the one-hitter quitter.
that's the Johnson and Johnson one hitter
Yeah.
quitter, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a pause?
Nah.
I mean,
nah.
if you're getting the one hitter quitter,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
they-
that's like
they-
a box. That's like a boxing reference.
you're
Exactly.
getting that's a pause, bro. Because if
You gotta
you're
relax,
getting it,
bro.
Nah.
You
Rome?
gotta relax. Yeah, nah,
so
sure.
you're down with getting a one hitter quitter,
Vaccination shot, yes. in
taking
my
it,
arm.
taking a one hitter quitter.
In the vaccination shot in
That's a
my arm.
pause.
Yes. See, you're reaching, bro. You're reaching. Okay, you're reaching.
All right, all right.
It's all good.
All right.
But nevertheless, I need to get this shot, man. The streets
Yeah.
are calling, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
answer.
sure.
I'm answering very soon. I'm
Yeah.
answering very soon to the
You
streets.
got
call,
any spring break
so-
gigs
I do. Yeah.
in Texas, in Florida,
Iowa. Yeah, next Saturday.
Oh, you going to Iowa next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
Oh, you
Oh,
got to
wait.
get that one.
I thought you
praying
were
for
joking.
That. You praying
No,
for that one
I'm
hit
dead
quitter?
serious. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I mean, even if I just
shit.
get one, I'm cool. If I just
don't
get
know.
one, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But I already talked to
So
the
you're not
spot.
gonna go. You're not gonna go if you don't get your first shot. You still going?
No, they already gave me half. I'm going.
You
I-
committed?
Yeah.
How you
so,
get there? You flying?
Gotta fly. Yeah.
They
Chicago.
got any direct flights to Iowa? No.
Not in my tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Jerome really gonna be out there.
Is that your first time in Iowa?
No, it's my third time.
What?
Mhm.
What were you doing there the other two times?
DJ.
Oh, okay. What,
Yeah,
what city is that? Des Moines?
Des Moines. Yep.
It's popping out there.
No, not at all.
White
But-
girl
We'll be
heaven
that-
though.
We'll be that night.
The club looks like it's pretty mixed. It looks like it was a pretty solid situation.
Really?
Yeah. So
Mixed with what? What other races they got?
there's
Spanish?
there's people of color in Iowa.
No.
Yes.
What?
It's my
What?
third time going.
Filipinos? A lot of Pinoys?
Black people.
There's no black people in Iowa, bro.
Promise. There's black people everywhere. We're
No
everywhere.
bullshit, yeah.
We're everywhere.
Yo, so okay, so the other race, it was a good mix of. This might be the one, like, urban club in Des Moines, though.
It's not even urban, so it's a new spot. And my homie that lives in Atlanta did the opening night, and he seen me DJ on Twitch, and so he had a link with it. They were like, "Yo, who should we bring in?" He said, "Yo, get my man from DC. He'll destroy it."
Mm-hmm.
Boom, hit me. They paid me last night. Like it's all good.
6,000 for a gig.
I mean,
Hit up Jerome.
I got my double mask and my shield. I'm ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? 6 a.m. flight. I'll be in Iowa all day. But like I said, it's my third time. There's nothing to do. You go to the hotel.
You're there
you
for
work
one
out.
night.
One night. I'm right.
You got
back
a rental car?
Nah, Iowa's small. It's like it's not even like Richmond big. Like it's super small. You know what I mean? So you're gonna
Get a hotel
downtown-
right across the street.
Downtown is like 7 minutes from the airport. I mean, so go in there, blaze it, and then get out. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
not even staying the night.
Yeah, I'm staying the night, but I mean,
Oh.
even my flight back is like 8 in the morning or something like that.
Ouch.
Just because you got to go to Chicago.
You
And,
got
like,
some joints lined up?
I'm
No?
good on Iowa, bro. No.
No, you sure?
Yeah. I
Listen.
mean, maybe if I do well, I'm trying to make it a monthly thing for sure.
Lock some down out there, huh?
Not lock anything down, no sir. Iowa's open. Iowa is open. Like
You
they don't wear masks out there.
A second family out there? Iowa's a
No.
good place to have a second family. Nobody's going to know.
No, it's not, bro.
No?
No.
For real? Who's going to fucking know you got something in Iowa?
If you keep going back to Iowa on like Tuesday afternoons, what is the point? Like they're gonna be like, "Hey, there's
Nobody's
really
going to think that you have a family in Iowa.
You're
Nobody
DJing,
goes to
Jerome.
Iowa.
You're DJing.
Yeah, you're working.
There's
It's my
no
gig.
reason in the world to fly to Iowa on a
That's
Tuesday.
what I'm saying. If you had this was like your second or third family that you kept on the low, Iowa would be a good place because your first family and your second family are not going to ever think that you're in Iowa visiting the third family. Am I bugging? Like,
You're
it's a
bugging.
good place to have a secret
You're
family.
doing a lot of reaching tonight. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's like some witness protection shit. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's
yeah.
going to know.
Nobody
yo.
trying to be in fucking Iowa.
Nah.
Yeah, you've been hanging out with, I don't know who you've been with this week.
I don't
G,
know.
but
I've been watching
nevertheless-
too much Snowfall.
There you go. You've been influenced the streets. But nevertheless, man, shout out to Iowa. It's going to be a good time. It's a dope looking spot, brand new spot.
Mm-hmm.
And, they've had some cool DJs. My man is the best DJ in Atlanta. So when he co-signed it, it was pretty much a done deal. And knowing what he plays, I'm just like, oh, this is even easier than like, it's not even like turn up night. It's like turn up night for them is just like play a bunch of Drake songs. So, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be cool. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, episode 103 was a podcast. Obviously, me getting a vaccination is a huge thing. We want that to happen.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about Texas and Mississippi wilding out, but obviously we do a lot
Iowa. I guess apparently Iowa's been wilding out.
Yeah, Iowa's 100% open too.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I'm watching my savings.
Are you gonna be the
decline.
Are you gonna be
I'm
the
just
only
kinda-
one in the club with a mask on
Yes,
Probably.
definitely.
and a shield?
I won't have a shield on. That would be a
You
little
gonna be in that
crazy.
joint like underwater, like with the bubble on and shit?
I mean, I'll be at the airport like, yo, it is what it is, G. You know what I'm
Scuba
saying?
suit.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, this is my
Ski
third time
goggles
going.
on.
It's my third time going. Both times I went before were for basketball players that were from there.
hold on. So hold on. Have you flown since COVID,
No.
Abdul?
I have.
You flew one time, right?
I
Or
flew
twice?
from Martha's Vineyard to here. It was a 45-minute flight.
Yep. How
Have
was
you
that?
flown, Eddie?
I have not flown anywhere.
Okay.
Nah, I drove. I drove a few places, but now I haven't flown.
I haven't been out of DC in 6 months. 7 months.
I drove to Boston and I drove to Florida, Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy living in DC, but good God, I just need to get out of here for a little bit.
Yeah,
For
You
sure.
know
no,
what
I'm with
saying?
you.
My mother, who has her shot, first shot. She gets her
she on the
second
way.
shot. She gets her second shot next week.
Is she on the way?
Right? She said, "Yo, if you get your shot, if you get your appointment, you can come home." Bella has spring break. Was that first week of April? First and second week of April. I think the kids have spring break. She was like, "If you get your shots, you can come home." What? I am definitely trying to come home. Like, we might not come back if I go home this time.
Oh,
and I say
okay.
that
Let's
all
not get carried
serious.
away.
You can bullshit with rap if you want. I'm trying to tell you. One of my homies, his kid just moved from Jersey to LA, and they're up at 5:30 every morning because he wants to finish his school year at the school in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the 3-hour difference. So, that's another added motivation, right? Like DC's
So,
dope.
so you think you're gonna go out there with Shorty and that's it?
Listen.
More power to you, dog.
Listen. The internet can get you a lot of places nowadays.
That's a fact,
man.
yeah.
So, but it is what it is.
I hope it works
episode
out.
103. Yeah, for sure. Listen, episode 103. Obviously, we're just gonna stop BSing. We're gonna get right to it. Joe Herbert Hebert and Herbert Hebert
And Herbert Hebert.
whatever. This
Joe
whole
and Ann Herbert Hebert.
Joe and Ann. I like that. Joe and Ann.
Joanne Fabrics.
This whole Nike sort of quote unquote scandal, if you will, which I think the scandal's big, but I think the reaction to the scandal has been even bigger.
I think
and
so.
It's been funny, right? I think people overvalue their worth to Nike. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get on that in a second. But basically, Ann Hebert. Abdul, you want to do this, or you want me to do this?
Nah, go ahead. You got it.
All right. So Anna Hebert was a Nike executive. She was a vice president, and she resigned Monday after a
Hold
week
on, she was the vice president of all Nike, or like what?
Of
what-
North America.
North America.
Okay, so that's a serious job.
Yeah, she's been there for
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So she decided to step down from Nike immediately after a week after a Bloomberg business report detailed her son's lucrative sneaker resale business that flips hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shoes every month. Basically, West Coast Joe is AKA Joe Hebert, is a 19-year-old who has the terrible Instagram name West Coast Streetwear. He also has, I believe, he has a Discord. Are you guys familiar with Discord?
Nah, I need to get more into this, man. Tell me more about that.
So
you know anything?
Discord is like remember like Nike Talk?
Yeah.
So Discord is like Nike Talk. It's like a forum. It's
okay.
a forum, but it's primarily on your phone. I mean, a lot of people do use the web-based version, but Discord is like everybody has their own forum. You can have whatever you want. We could have a What's a Podcast if we wanted to. And then you have
like Reddit. It's like a Reddit?
Yeah, but it's more so
tech-based.
No. It's everything.
Okay.
There's smut on there. There's basketball.
Okay.
There's everything. So he had a Discord in which I think you paid $250 a month, and it gave you some insider information on how to get sneakers. He also had, I think he had 2 Discords, and he also had 2 private Instagram pages that you had to pay for him to accept you, and they would upload photos and let you know who was wearing what was what type things. It's very much like, and we're gonna talk about it, but it's very much like OnlyFans, right? So OnlyFans, you pay however much to subscribe to a person, but that gets you like the minimum content. You have to pay extra to get the premium content. So in this, you had to pay to get in the Discord. You had to pay to get in the Instagram, then pay to get in the Discord, and then potentially still have to pay for the sneakers at a whopping oversell. But it's just for you to get them, right? So my man had multiple channels of revenue, and then he also was just, flipping sneakers. Basically, what he said, he tried to stunt on the reporter. He spent $132,000 and made $20,000 profit off a Yeezy Supply sneaker, which doesn't really sound like a lot to me, but hey, to each his own. He had Nike insider, he's based out of Portland, so he had inside information from Nike. If you know the right people, this is the city to sell shoes. The right people can give you access to stuff that like a normal person would not have access to.
That's quoting him?
This is what he was quoted as saying in the
Wow.
Bloomberg article. And And so there's some. I think what happened was his Instagram got discovered, and there were pictures. I mean, I'm looking at the picture now.
Well, the reporter put it all up too. In
Okay,
the
so
Business
there's
Week
1,
article.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's stacks of shoes that are 14 shoe boxes high that are there's maybe 100 rows of sneakers like that. So you're looking at a ridiculous amount of sneaker, ridiculous amount of inventory. He had pictures of his storage shed room empire, which is in Portland. And basically, he's a 19-year-old kid. You figure that his ego got the best of him. He shouldn't have been speaking when he was speaking. And as a result of that, his mother had to resign from her job. His mom was the plug, and he messed it up. I mean, I don't know if anybody has fumbled the bag even bigger than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think this is crazy how this story played out. And there's been so much talk about this over the last few days. I mean, on Clubhouse and just articles and people talking and memes and all this shit that, people talking about boycotting Nike. And there was at first conversations I was hearing about. Well, the article says that the kid showed the reporter his credit card statement. To show that he had dropped X amount of money on buying all these Yeezys, and he was spending this kind of money on sneakers every week. But the reporter realized that there was another person's name on the credit card report, and that's how the mom got outed, because she had co-signed his credit card. But there were reports at first coming out and people saying that that money had been charged on a Nike corporate credit card, and that's why she got fired or she quit or was forced to resign. But come to find out that the kid has his company credit card, and his mother had co-signed that for him along with him to help him start his business, and that's where he dropped that $132,000 and had charged to that account. But man,
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if I see anything wrong with it. Like, ethically, I think that the fact that she's in a business where they're getting products out to consumers, and consumers complain constantly about bots and not being able to get that product, and the fact that her son is able to get it through some sort of means. I mean, buying sneakers through a bot is not illegal, right? It's,
No.
however, frowned upon even by the company, right?
Yeah.
The company that Moms works for. So I do see that sort of ethical injustice, so to speak. But what he did is being done by a lot of other people
I'm
too.
not mad
I think.
at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he figured out a way. There's websites out there that are specifically to tell you what stores have what sneakers coming in, what inventory they're going to have, how many pairs, blah, 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 blah. And I think this was just his version of doing that, along with, buying a lot of sneakers from retailer websites using bots. The optics of it look really bad, and I think which is partly the reason why Shorty resigned.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she really did anything wrong per se. But I will say this, though, the part where privilege does play a major part is that if this had happened by a person of color or something like that, I think the backlash would have from the company would have been even more severe. A few weeks ago, there was another report that came out about a former Nike dude named Errol something, Filipino dude, who had been embezzling money from Nike by essentially, he had a little side company that he was hiring to do Nike gigs, whether it was putting together like functions and events and things like that. And he was paying his own company through Nike's money and essentially embezzling millions of dollars through that. But the way that even the report was written out, dog, was like shitting on him severely. You know what I mean? Like, and just the difference in reading. And I'm not saying that they're both the same things, but I've always noticed how, um, it's like when
different wording.
like when the cops when the cops killed George Floyd, the picture that the media showed was a mugshot, right? Or anybody. And then when it's a white terrorist that does something, it's always him at his senior prom or something
Like
like that, right?
graduation photo.
Yeah, it's always something along those lines. And it's so I think that because she's white, they allowed her to leave graciously, and maybe she didn't do anything wrong, and that's also why they allowed her to leave, right?
Yeah.
I believe she had disclosed to the company in 2018 that her son had started a sneaker reselling business called WSC. So it might be that the company believes everything that she did was above ground, and
Maybe
she
it
didn't do
was.
any. Maybe it was, but the optics of it are just really bad, and I think that's partly the reason why Shorty left. But it's fucked up that your kid took you out like this, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do to your kid? What do you do if your son or daughter fucks your career up like this?
I mean, I think we have to look at it. One, I know Errol, and he's the reason why a lot of like people in nightlife, a lot of West Coast DJs, and I'm sure a lot of people we just know who are based on the West Coast are did what they did and are famous for. Let's just say a lot of people who are on the West Coast who are famous and really well known for having sneakers.
Yeah.
Everybody dealt with Errol. I'll put it
Okay.
that way. Yeah.
All right.
So, but number two,
He
I
was the
believe-
list.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Number
West
two,
Coast Lizzie.
I mean, he was just he did a lot. Number two, I believe that we see people take down people all the time. It's the fact that as a 19-year-old, I mean, when you start reading about this, there was everybody was complicit in this. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't his side little business, and mommy and daddy didn't know about it. Like, there it seems to be like she knew on some level what he was doing, and I believe there was it was
Okay.
made mention that the father helped with some things as well. So if it's a family business, hey man, if you profited, then it's all good. I mean, she was there 25 years. She has shares. She may have had to step down from her VP position, but if she gets a pension,
She might
Yeah.
have been ready to retire.
if she gets a
anyways after
pension,
25.
if she gets a pension and she's able to hold on to her shares, she's not tripping. You know what
At
I'm saying?
all.
Well,
Like,
yeah, she resigned, so which means
Yeah.
that she got away
She gets her
gracefully
pension.
and
Yeah, for
probably
sure.
got a nice little golden parachute severance package.
And let's be honest, if she wants to lay low for a year or two, Adidas will come holler at her.
Oh, of course. Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? Like Adidas will come holler at her because she was at Nike for 25 years.
And best believe she still got the plugs.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but
Her
they're
son
in
is still
Portland.
plugged in.
Yeah, they're in Portland. She's in Portland. So, I believe we talked about it off the air. Is a lot of the people who are upset are people who are, the fans, fans of the sneaker culture like we are. But I also believe that there are people who are overvaluing their worth to Nike. Like
Nike doesn't give a fuck
Nike
about
doesn't
anybody.
care about this. Like sneakers is not going to be this magical journey for the next 2 years. You're not going to land every pair of sneakers you want. You know what I'm saying?
None
You're
of
gonna
us
be
are.
I can't get
Nobody
anything
is.
on
I mean, I
sneakers
don't
now.
even know if what drops tomorrow.
The Supreme Dunks. We're not
Nah,
getting
but I'm
them.
saying, I'm saying on the Nike site, I think it's the I don't know, the outside dunks or whatever it is, the market dunks. I
Oh,
think
the
those
city
drop
market
tomorrow.
joints.
City market
yeah,
joints.
we're
right.
gonna strike out on those too.
It's not like everybody's gonna get those all of a sudden because Nike
Yeah.
feels bad. No, there's clubhouse rooms where I'm just like, you guys gotta relax. Gee, like, yeah, you might have put $100,000 worth of sneakers. You might have that in your closet. It may do something for you, but they're not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like they could really care less. I think that, we just have to see, you have to see like this is how people act. This is how the world works. I've been saying it for a while that I thought Nike played both sides of the fence, and
Yeah.
it's kind of just confirmed my suspicion because they're too big of a giant to be letting things operate like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but real quick shout out to Premium Goods. They did a raffle. They had all the dunks that we all wanted recently. Didn't get them, but still shout out
Nah.
to Premium Goods.
I
But
hit up Clarence, and I pretty much just begged for them, and he hit me back with a LOL, just dissed me, and I was like, yo. We were supposed to be family. And
Nevertheless, though,
he
man,
hit me with a double tap and just gave me a little heart, like to my
Ooh.
DM. And
That's
I
hilarious.
was like, "Yo, it's me, the
Yeah.
Lizzie. You gonna play me?" And he just laughed. Shout out to him. That's family, of course. Uh, but you know what, Jerome? It's hard to also when you're 19. I mean, 19-year-olds is young, right? It's fucking young as fuck. If when your 19-year-old kid is recording sales of in the figures that this kid is, like it's hard to tell him also no, right? Because he was
Yeah, I
also
mean,
saying in the article, the best he's done was during COVID. In the month of May last year, he did north of $600,000 in sales in just 1 month. So
that's fucking amazing.
it's kind of tight when your 19-year-old is fucking probably making more money than you, right? And he's found a way to get in, and whether it's unfair or what or not, that's a different question, because we've all come up and during. You know what I don't like, and let me just go sideways a little bit, is my problem with resellers today is they don't really. It's all about business, right? It's all about the dollar. Like we've always had resellers, even like in the early 2000s, whether it was on ISS forums or Nike Talk and shit like that, and there were people like Croatian Style and even people like Ben Baller was reselling sneakers on Nike Talk back then, right? But they kind of came from within us. You know what I mean? They'd been there with us in the trenches, whether it was lining up or they knew more about sneakers, they knew about the culture, they were part of us, right? But now you have like these 13 and 14-year-olds who have maybe watched a YouTube video of fucking Little Yachty or something, and have just immersed themselves directly into the commerce of the culture and not really being part of the culture. And I hate using that word culture, but I'm really doing it just to simplify what I'm
No,
saying.
that's
right?
real though.
And I think that's where the disconnect lies between us and these new kids who have become resellers, because they don't really appreciate the actual love of sneakers. It's all about commerce. It's all about flipping sneakers. It's all about the almighty dollar, right? And that's what I have a big problem with. Actually, I shouldn't say I have a big problem with it. That's what kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know necessarily have a problem with any of it, but it does leave a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, but it's hard to deny somebody who's 19 years old of and doing things like this. It's hard to deny them and shut them down. Like if I was a parent, I might actually be proud of my kid doing something like this.
Well,
I mean,
I think
you should be.
I believe to speak to a couple of your points. Number one, the disconnect is because, like, we see it with real estate. Everybody thinks they can flip. It's all about the flip. Everything is for the flip, right? You have a lot of cats like us who are genuinely into sneakers. We've genuinely been fans for 25 years. If you can look out for us, always cool. But sometimes it's just like, let me just be able to get them. I'll pay retail. I just need to get them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
now these kids are comfortable paying $100 to $200 over. Every time I see somebody with some fly kicks on that I don't know personally, and even some cats that I know personally, I'm like, oh, you paid on StockX for those. Like, you went
Yeah.
crazy for those. You know what I mean? So I think the disconnect is just the flip. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why you see 8 million. We all know 8 million people who are real estate agents, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody comes up on a crib, they're not gonna. Their first thought isn't, "Hey, let me like flip this house and give it to a single mom of 4 kids." They're like, "Yo, I'm trying to get this money." You know what I'm saying? But that's just the world we live in right now in general. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, if you made 600,000, I think that's fantastic. I would be proud of Isabella if she did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in the same way, I mean, if you spend 132 and you only make 20,000, to me that doesn't sound like the best business model. To
Well,
me.
it
depends on
doesn't.
how long
But
it took him.
you got to
If it-
realize, Jerome, it all happened within like 4 or 12 hours. Like that's
Yeah,
how
if you
quick
can
the
make
flip
20
was.
racks, if you can make 20 racks in 4 hours, yeah, that's good money.
And we all have friends of ours that are resellers, and the trend of resellers is now becoming not necessarily a big profit margin, but moving a lot of units at a small profit margin. And so that's how they get money in their pocket, right? Like, I don't necessarily need to resell a Yeezy that I bought for $220. I don't need to sell it for 400. I can still sell it for 260, and that $40 profit, if I have 100 pairs of them, that's $4 grand right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
seeing more and more of that. But you got to move a lot of volume in order to make some money. So the fact that he did that and was able to flip that shit so quickly and make that much money in a matter of hours, I mean, listen, I would do it.
Now, what
I would
I've
do it.
heard, and I don't. This is just what I saw and read on the internet. Was
Mm-hmm.
there was some frustration with the trophy room Jordan ones, right?
Yeah,
there was a
for
lot
sure.
of there was a lot of conversation about those being
Mm-hmm.
flipped before they even got to the store. Or
Yep.
a lot of stores. There was even a conversation about my man made $8 million off of
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
getting those off early. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
mean, his
So,
dad is a person of power as well. So
of course, no, but I feel like
his dad is the guy.
his dad is the guy. Right?
Yeah.
His dad's the guy.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I think what people need to understand is, like, at the end of the day, you still need genuine relationships.
Yeah.
Your plug is gonna be there to look out for you, and if you treat them cool and if you're solid with them, then it'll happen. And the thing too is, you got to understand you're not gonna get everything. Like, unless you're really,
Yeah.
Unless you get everything, you're
unless
not
you
gonna
play
get everything.
ball,
Yeah.
unless you play ball, you're not gonna get everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the only guys I know that get everything. PJ gets everything, and he still has to pay for a lot of the sneakers that he gets. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're Clark Kent, you're not
And
getting
Clark, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to speculate on Clark's situation. You know what I mean?
Clark
But
gets a lot of stuff, but
Clark
he also
gets
he
everything.
pays for a lot of stuff too. I know
I'm
that.
sure. Yeah, I'm
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, man, I just think that people, you can't really. It's a we live in it's a capitalist society. It's America. The dollar is the mighty dollar.
Yeah.
It's bigger and badder than anything else. So, obviously, hopefully, if you feel this, leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about this, because obviously it was a big shakeup in our world and just the world of retail and a lot of different things. And I think things might get real quiet in Portland for a minute, like, you know what I mean? But you just never know. They might be like, yo, F it, we got these Tokyo dunks we about to put out or something. You never know. You know what
Oh.
I'm saying? So
You know what? This I actually just remembered another point from the article. And Ann Herbert, who was she was a VP in charge of North America, Nike North America, which is a pretty big thing. And one of the things and strategies she was behind and or spearheading at the company was apparently moving a lot of product away from retailers. Like, we've seen like mom and pop stores in the Bronx and in Philly that have closed down, and they've shut down those accounts because Nike's trying to do more stuff through its own website, through its own apps and shit like that. And what I believe they were insinuating was that all these changes that Shorty was in charge of are actually helping resellers such as her son. So, you know, sure, while she might have been leading that initiative within the company, I don't know if that was actually her idea, but I think the company as a whole has been kind of moving a little bit more away from retailers, you know what I'm saying, and trying to get all that money themselves.
It seems like that.
Yeah, the direct to consumer thing is cutting out the middleman, which is the retailers. You know what I'm saying? Because they've had to, if a sneaker costs $60, they sell that to retailers for 30, and the retailer sells it for 60 and keeps 30 and gives Nike 30. Nike is trying to take that away from retailers and charge the full 60 and pocket the whole thing, right? So business wise, it makes sense. I've always been against that. I'm actually one of the few people, and I think actually not one of the few people. Everybody, all of us on this podcast, I think the same way, that we actually have always been fans of going to stores. we became friends because of something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? We've had long lasting relationships with people at stores and built real legit friendships and family through things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've always been against buying on a website. I'd rather go to a shop and go in there and chop it up and talk shit. And our podcast came because of that. Was
Absolutely.
what really spawned from a sneaker store.
Like sneaker shop talk.
Yeah, instead of barbershop talk, we went to sneaker shop just talking shit. And Solid Top said we need to put this together, start taping it.
True.
So I've always been against taking away the retailer. So yeah, I mean that was another point that the article talked about, was this was what she was working on, and it kind of helps out resellers. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I think I believe I'm trying to stop saying I think, but I believe that one of the best, things that you realized about that is you kind of remove the cultural aspect and the cultural
For sure.
investment and the cultural cool when you go direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because the whole purpose of the reason why you are where you are is because of these stores. It's not because you can go direct to consumer in 2001. No, it's
Yeah.
because cats were going all around the globe and trading, Japan shipments for,
Yeah.
USA shipments, et cetera, et cetera. The stores are the centerpiece, and that's where things work. And I believe that one of the reasons why Nike can really thrive is they just don't have any competition at that level. They just don't. There's no shoes that you're just like, I really want this shoe versus something that Nike puts out. You know what I'm saying? They have the top basketball players.
Yeah.
The Dunk has been made into 8 different. It's a lifestyle shoe. It's a skate shoe. It's a basketball. It's all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no competition at any level. Like there's nothing Reebok. There's nothing Adidas. Yeezy played out the shoe. It's played out now.
Yeah.
New Balance, all their hot stuff is very small quantity. It's very small quantity, and it doesn't carry the same level of. You can wear those ALDs in Arizona, and nobody's tripping. But if you wear some Nike Dunks in Arizona, they still gonna be on you. And I'm a fan of you're gonna hit New York and Miami and Chicago and LA all day long. But what is your impact in the off-brand states? You know what I'm saying? Like, are people checking for you in Wichita, Kansas? Because if they are, then you're really at the forefront. But if not, you're just hype,
Yeah. And you know what I won't that will make me a little bit upset, Jerome, is if they do decide to take away some of their retailers, but in their head keeping places like Kith as storefronts open, in their minds might be like, oh well, we still have retailers like Kith. To me, Kith is become like a better Foot Locker. You know what I'm saying? It's become almost like a big box store. Like that's the type of
Urban
Level that
Outfitters or
Kith
some
is.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the level Kith is on now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With
for sure.
stores opening up in France and the orders that they have, and they're a great store. I'm not taking away from that, but I just think that for the next generation to really learn about product, it has to come from the smaller retailers and places
Right.
that can really tell a story. You know what I'm saying?
So,
from everywhere, from the people working in the shop to the product that they carry, all of that translates into a story.
So let's say, okay, so on the flip of Kith, let's talk about your man's in Kentucky, right? They're Nike
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
They made their own neon Nike sign for the store. You know what I'm saying? He went all in between Louisville,
You're talking
and
about oneness.
Louisville, and where's the other store? Lexington.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of places that can tell a story, that can help a market
Yeah.
that's completely underserved.
Yep.
Right? I'd
Sneaker
rather see
politics in Louisiana, of all
Louisiana,
places.
in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
places
It's corporate in Cincinnati.
all these,
Yeah.
flyover states and places that are devoid of the actual culture to an extent. But they have retailers who are building genuine followings because
They're holding
getting-
it down.
They're getting the
Yeah.
product. And if
Yeah.
Nike removes the product, who knows what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
we know what's going to happen.
And I think Nike also has just found a way to make themselves a little less cool when you don't really see 2001. If some dunks went to Japan, you had to open up a sneaker freaker, or you had to get them and get a proxy and do all sorts of situations to make it happen.
Yeah.
Now they just don't even release dunks like that anymore. Like they're not even putting Asia exclusives and stuff like that. Like they're focusing on China because China is such a big market, but they're not hitting them off of fire. You know what I'm saying? Like DC is a top area, and it's not heavy out here. It's not heavy out here. You know what I'm saying? Like you really got to be plugged in. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it could be and what it should be, in my opinion. But again, Nike, I don't think Nike's tripping. I think they're saying, hey man, we're really getting our money from whatever that could be. I have no idea, but you know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, people, that's our take on it. If you feel how we feel, if you feel opposite, just let us know.
Let us know.
Leave a
comment, DM us, all that.
Yeah, leave a comment, DM us.
Yeah.
I do. So episode 103, we can mark this at the 51-minute mark of episode 103. There has been growth. There has been growth in my life. Pause.
Wait, what?
Where
are you going?
I watched TV for 6 hours.
What you watch?
I watched Hip Hop Uncovered.
Oh shit!
Hip Hop Uncovered.
You caught up on all episodes?
I watched all 6 episodes.
I don't
think I've seen 6 yet. Episode 6 yet.
6 is okay. 5 was better. 5 was better than 6.
5 was okay. Let's just go through it.
Okay, so I really kind of wanted more on Haitian Jack's story.
Me too. Haitian Jack needs to have his own show.
He needs to have his own. If Haitian Jack and Bimmy had their own shows, I'd be good. I've been around. You know what? Though? I've been around Bimmy before. I didn't know who he was, but when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, I've been around that dude before."
Where was this at?
Probably in New York. In New York. Let me think. Deb's story was okay. It was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of rushed some things. Mm-hmm. Did you guys see when they were talking about Waka and Nicki?
Yeah.
And Gucci Mane?
Yeah.
So I feel like they kind of rushed a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I never knew French Montana was signed to Deb.
Yeah, I knew that. Because French and Waka were putting out a lot of music together when they first dropped.
Got it.
So, you know what I mean? Big U story was cool. I feel like the Nipsey thing was... Well, you got to see the last one. They talk about Nipsey a lot in the last one.
I think I saw that.
They did that in 5 too. Episode 5.
Six is even more. Six is even more. They talk about Nipsey a lot.
That relationship ended up sour, or
you got to watch it. I don't want to give it away.
I don't think it ended up sour.
It
got sour and then it
no.
got
Okay,
mended,
no.
right?
So no, it ended up great. It actually ended up great.
They mended
it. They were great at the end of Nipsey's life.
Yeah.
He calls him a son. You know what I'm saying? Like it was great. Who else? I mean, Big U was cool. Like it was cool. Just
how did you think about Haitian Jack talking about Pac like that?
I believe everything Haitian Jack said.
I do too.
You know, I wasn't really the biggest Trick fan.
Same here. Even his music wise, I never was.
His music was terrible always.
I've never liked his music.
But I heard the Rick Ross story before. I definitely heard the Rick Ross story.
Wait, what was the Rick Ross story again?
Remember when they were like, "Yo, Trick's outside with 200 people," and
they're not letting you do your show unless you pay.
Rick Ross could not perform because he supposedly he didn't check in, and he might have said something a little sideways about Detroit.
Trick's going to take a cut at anybody who does a show in Detroit.
Trick.
You got to check in, and you got to give him a cut, or the shit you ain't making no money in his city. You know?
So I think if they do a part 2, we need more Haitian Jack, more Bimmy. You know what I'm saying?
I think Trick needs to start talking about these stories and make his life a little bit more.
He talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, but he's just glanced over it. Like I want to hear what the fuck, like who he pressed. You know what I'm saying?
He pressed Rick Ross out. And
I don't know. I think Ross might have been,
and they glanced over it. Look at that. I missed it. I blinked and I missed that part. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You got Haitian Jack is talking that talk. Like he's out here just giving it all up. Yeah, he's giving it up. Yeah. You know? This is who I shot. The bully, tried to press me. I had to put one in him. Pause. And, you know, and I had a conversation
real.
with him and let him know, like, I
Yeah.
still got it on me.
Yeah.
You know, like, what do you want to do? We can either be nice or it can go another way. So, but I like that. You know, that to me is entertaining. If I'm gonna watch a show about this, like, I want to hear that type of talk. Like, it's just like my music. I want to hear about Jada Kiss talking cocaine raps and shit like that. Like, I don't want to hear about Jay-Z being 50 years old. I want to hear him talking about fucking shooting and
So the
flipping
thing
birds.
about it too is they definitely had a little part where everybody was bigging up Jay-Z, right? Everybody loves Jay-Z
Yeah.
for what he has become. But
Yeah.
but I really feel like we need to get the story of who Jay-Z was, right? Like, very few people can say they walk away from hustling and become these huge business
billionaire.
people. Yeah, I mean, successful artists turned into billionaire. But
Yeah.
like, we want the Jay-Z stories. You know what I'm saying? I think that would have been a huge moment for that show.
I mean, didn't Clark touch on it a little bit?
but like, nobody's giving you the full, like,
Yeah, I
really
don't
had
think-
Jay talk.
And
I don't think-
also Clark is friends / family with Jay, right? I want to hear of somebody like who dislikes Jay. Only because I think it could be an interesting thing, because a lot of these people who are now bigging Jay up and all that stuff that went around back then might have possibly hated him back then and are now just scared to just like talk shit about him, especially if they're still in the music business.
Well, yeah,
You
I
know
think
what I
that's the thing about it. They're all 50
Yeah.
years old, still trying to rap, still trying to be relevant.
Yeah.
And it's better
It
to
can't
be
happen,
on
yeah.
Rock Nation or
Yeah.
to not be at odds with Rock Nation right now because Jay. But I want to know, like, who was he, like, who.
Other than
like,
Funk Flex.
But I mean, like, Jazzo is cool with Jay now. Like, Jazzo's still trying to
Yeah.
rap. Like, nigga,
Like,
you're
I heard him
52,
on Drink
53.
Champs or something, and
Yeah.
I'm like, Jazzo, come on.
I want to hear, like, Jay, you were in Newport News. You were in, what's that place way out Eastern Shore?
He was in
That's-
Baltimore.
They said Jay got it in all on Route 13, right? Like, that was his place where he got it popping. And you know, those are the stories. Like, if you go do
Yeah.
hip hop,
Him and
like, I mean,
Emery.
Him
yeah,
and
I mean,
Emery.
and we know Emery took the bid for him, all that stuff. But like, whoever can get Jay to sit down and really talk about that,
Yeah.
then I think you're gonna. If you're gonna do,
I don't think that's
hip-hop,
gonna happen.
I don't think it is either. But I'm just saying, if you hip hop
If you
uncovered
could,
two, it has
yeah.
to be. It has to be Jay, because Haitian Jack was a great person to get
Yeah.
the story from. I really enjoyed his. You know, he had a little Napoleon complex. The bully that beat him up early.
Yeah.
He found the thrill in the gun, the whole thing. All right, cool. You become this huge stick up kid from Brooklyn. We get it. Like, Pac, you know, turned on you. What happened? You tell me Haitian Jack and Suge never had any interaction? When Haitian Jack was in LA, he never ran into Suge. And like, come on, there's things that are missing.
There's shit's missing, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's got to be like the law. What is it called? The like when you can still be held guilty that amount of time.
Statute of
Oh,
limitations.
but he's
that's
no longer
over.
even in America.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
it ride.
You know
what I'm
who
saying?
else they talked about that I would like to hear more about that has kind of been sort of a mythical figure, so to speak? Jimmy Henchman. You know what I'm saying? They touched on him a little bit in episode 5, I believe. And I think, who did Deb say she put on to Jimmy Henchman because she thought he would be able to work well together? But anyway, Jimmy Henchman has been sort of like a figure in
Like
the
behind the
music
scenes?
business. Yeah, and just in managing artists and things like that. And the last thing I remember was, I think he had a problem with 50, and Tony Yayo ended up slapping his son because he had on a Jimmy Henchman's company's T-shirt. I think Czar Entertainment or something like that. There was a kid walking down the street, and he had on that T-shirt, and Tony Yayo got out the car and slapped him. I don't know if he
And it
broke
was
his
his
jaw,
son.
and it turns out it was Jimmy Henchman's son. But I would like to. That's a story I remember. But I would like to know more about Jimmy Henchman.
What happened to Tony Yayo?
Well, I don't know. I think something had to have happened.
I would like to.
I would like to know about that story, though.
Supreme.
No doubt.
More about Supreme, right?
Yeah.
Because his story hasn't been told. I heard he's in like Supermax prison though. Like, he'll never see another day.
I thought like Irv
Outside.
Gotti was doing like a Supreme movie.
Who knows? See, so Supreme, Jimmy Henchman, probably
Jay.
like
I mean,
Jay.
the Jay story would be fire.
I think you got to do like Mike, like probably somebody who helped Harry O. More about Harry O. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe like the definitive paid in full story.
The real AZ
Yeah,
and
the
Rich
whole,
Porter.
Yeah, the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to Stereo Faith. He just texted me right now. I'm in the game right now. 1 down, 1 to go. AKA, he just got his.
He's getting vaccines at
vaccination,
10
yeah.
p.m.
I guess so.
Yo,
so
Stereo Faith is a wild dude,
Well,
man. He might
also-
be in
also-
somebody's basement
Listen,
getting
hold
a,
on, and
getting a
speaking
You
shot.
got the plug.
speaking of it, Rayful. Let's get the Rayful Evans.
Let's get the
story.
Rayful
We're in
story.
DC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see Free Tony Lewis on Instagram a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So let's get
Shout
the
out to
full
Tony
story.
Lewis
Yeah, shout
Jr..
out to Tony Lewis Jr. of course. But let's get
Yeah.
all their stories next on Hip
Yeah.
Hop Uncovered because, I think maybe Feds Magazine, Don Diva, all those. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the real sort of because I think some of those guys were right. There's no struggle in hip hop anymore, and that's why it sounds the way it sounds. It sounds like the user has taken control of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why we have Lil, this person, and all that stuff. But a lot of the music is very disposable, which is why we can still listen to Reasonable Doubt, Ready to Die, all that stuff like it just came out.
Yeah.
Right. So speaking of Ready to Die, big. I got a story to tell. Just dropped on Netflix.
Oof.
I did
Loved
not.
it.
I did not
Fire.
watch it.
Loved it.
Same.
Loved
Speak about it.
yeah.
If you speak about it though.
You know what I really liked about this documentary was, well, one, outside of watching videos I'd never seen before that D-Rock was
D-Rock.
had taped on his own personal camcorder. Like him having a camcorder in 94, 95 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, he said Big was like, every time they would leave, he'd be like, yo, get the camera, get the tape. So he
Get
rolling,
the
like,
camera. He's like, he
every
had to make
time.
sure the shit was charged. He had like extra cassettes, and the fact that he never dropped it beforehand to any other documentary or somebody else doing a documentary
Yeah.
is amazing, right? So for saving it for this documentary, that's I think Big's mom executive produced this and had a
Yep.
big hand to do with it. So like saving it for the right people is tight. But outside of that, I think it just really highlights all the major moments in Big's life, right? Like we found out more about his father that, you know what I'm saying? Like a figure that nobody knew anything about.
Right.
At least I didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't. His dad was married and had another family and probably in Iowa, you know what I'm saying?
Chill.
But had another family and had some sort of affair with Big's mom and Big was born out of that relationship.
And that was in Jamaica, correct?
Now he was in New York.
Okay.
He was in New York because remember she said he always wanted to try to come over at night. And she's like, yo, why are you coming over at night to see your son when he's already sleeping? But he was really trying to come over to
He
smash.
was creeping, yeah.
Yeah. So, but he obviously was not around in Big's life. And so finding out about that, finding out more about his family in Jamaica, his mom's brother was also a music dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he's still alive. And
Yeah.
you saw him, right, with the yellow do-rag
dancehall,
on?
yeah.
He's wilding out.
Yeah.
And also does music in Jamaica. So like, rapping at like the big sound systems, the outdoor parties. That was tight. But just really, his friendship with all his friends and, how he really got into the street life from his mom always tried to keep him off of Fulton Street. And when he made it, she knew what was going to happen. And it damn sure happened. As soon
They
as he
said
made
that he
his
was
way
like
to
hanging
Fulton.
out there. and
Yeah.
They knew exactly when his mom's train was coming, so he would like break out and go home before.
He would get home, and I love that. This is like the same shit, like me coming from a foreign parent's life, right? Like
Yeah.
my parents came to America, and I came here in my early teens, and there's nothing I was more scared of than my mother. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I would rather get arrested than have to face the wrath of my mom's.
Yeah.
And up to this day, actually, I'm still scared of my mom's.
Yep.
He said, yeah.
But like it's really like a true immigrant story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Big's love for R&B and country western, and his mom's love for country
Yeah,
western.
they said
like,
he was like they're like Biggie was an R&B cat. Like he didn't listen to
that's
no rap.
crazy, right? Like, you know what I
And he
mean?
would
Like,
listen to
never.
country music before he went to sleep at night.
Yeah. So finding all this shit out, his DJ 50 Grand, who made Big's first demo tape.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all these monumental and pivotal steps in Big's life, like, they documented each one of them. Like,
Yeah.
50 Grand made Big's first demo tape, and everything Big was doing, he just hit record. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, yo, this shit is gonna fly. On to 50 Grand knew Mr. C. You know what I'm saying? Mr. C got it over to Matty C from The Source and became Unsigned Hype. That led on to Puff. Puff came into the picture because of that Unsigned Hype. And, all of these things, Big going down to North Carolina to go hustle and make some money, and Puff begging him to come back. Like, all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, the making of the first album. Like, I really, really enjoyed this, man.
Yeah, it was really, really
I
good.
recommend everybody go watch this. Biggie, I got a story to tell. So, yeah, I thought that was tight.
I think I'm gonna watch it again.
I think I'm going to watch it again, too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I don't know when, but I'm gonna watch it soon. Maybe when Bella goes to school tomorrow, I can just like watch it on my laptop or something.
Yeah,
but-
no, I think it's great. I'm excited. I was excited to watch it, and I couldn't wait for it to drop. So that's tight.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you should definitely watch it.
Episode 103. I'm gonna watch it. Man. Big is my guy. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
At this point, we say, what is Abdul watching?
Snowfall started. A new season of Snowfall started. I think we talked about it last week. After we got done taping last Wednesday, I went and started season. I believe it's season 4, and right away I realized I put it in 5 minutes in. I realized I was out of the loop and I'd forgotten everything that had happened in season 3. So I went and watched season 3.
You had to go watch it over and catch
I
up.
watched all 10 episodes like in 3
Damn.
days. Knocked it out. And then I started season 4, and man, it's fucking amazing. It's about to be another good one. I don't want to give too much away, but Franklin's doing some shit, man. It's about to go down with some of the dudes from Inglewood. So really, really good show. I'm glad they put out 2 episodes on the first week, so you can go binge watch that. And yeah, I'm gonna be watching that, man. I'm gonna be checking for that. I haven't watched anything else other than I caught up on all of season 3 of Snowfall, and then watched these last 2 episodes, and then watched the Biggie doc. Hip Hop Uncovered, of course. I still got to catch up on that last show, the last episode. I mean, what else?
That's a lot.
Yeah, Boogie movie. Friend of the show, Eddie Wong, has a movie coming out that drops on Friday. It's called Boogie, and actually it drops on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first shows nationwide, now that theaters are open in a lot of cities, the first show is like 7 p.m. or something like that. So it drops tomorrow night, and so go check that out, man. It seems that, listen, the trailer looks good.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. The trailer looks really good, and I think it's just one of them like feel good movies. It's a basketball story. And it's really going to tell a story that I don't think's been told about, like especially from a Asian American perspective, right? Like a immigrant story and their love for basketball. I don't think that story's ever been told before. So,
Yeah.
and it's based in New York City. Like I like movies that are based and filmed in New York City. And of course, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. This was his first
Debut.
acting debut. And we know the story of him passing away, but for him to leave this a body of work that's visual is definitely gonna be in his legacy, right? Like it's I don't know if Pop Smoke had children, but anyway, his family's got to be proud that he was able to accomplish something like being part of a movie like this, and he's got a major role in it. So shout out to Eddie Wong, congratulations. What else am I excited about? Oh, Coming to America, dog. That also drops on Friday, March 5th. Coming to America Part 2. I'm gonna watch it. I'm fucking excited.
You have to watch it. Yeah.
I'm fucking excited. I
Yeah.
feel like Coming to America is my story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
We'll watch it. We'll get the review next week.
yeah, without being a prince or without having the money, but listen,
I think they said
I'm excited about it.
The mansion in Coming to America 2
Yeah.
is Rick Ross's
Rick
mansion.
Ross's mansion in Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's
for
sick.
sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to anybody if you're going to Atlanta this weekend.
Don't
please
go.
Be safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't go. Actually, please
Yeah.
be safe.
Yeah, just don't go. You're not needed. It's all right.
You're not needed. I saw speaking of sneakers today,
Mm-hmm.
Bella and I we rode our bikes down to the White House again. It's like our thing.
Okay.
On nice days. It was nice outside. And we're coming up the hill at Malcolm X Park.
Carpet dunks.
Kids skateboarding know these Adidas Puig, Lucas Puig.
Mm-hmm.
He has this kid was wearing them. They are fire.
Yeah,
They
it's a
are-
skate
oh,
shoe
man.
or
Yeah,
what kind of
I'm
shoes?
about to yes, it's a skate shoe. Hold on one second.
I gotta check those out.
Yeah, no. They were super dope. I'm actually going to put them in the private chat. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do that.
But yeah, I mean, I think I gotta find out when those drop. Obviously, the carpet dunks are on people's
The
minds.
blue ones.
Nah, the Puig.
Oh yeah, these are kind of dope.
Nah, they're dope in person. I was like,
I didn't see it.
These are fire. He made a comment about my bike. He's like, yo, I gotta fix you too. I said, true. I'm getting another one in a few weeks, my man. We ready?
Okay.
I don't see the shoes.
In the private chat?
Oh, let me see. Yeah. Here it
Yeah,
goes.
for sure. So obviously we talked about earlier those City Market dunks come out.
Yeah.
The Supreme
Dunks drops tomorrow.
Supreme 4 colors, right? I think I'm gonna take an L on the green and
Which
the
one is your
maroon.
favorite color? If you had to pick one color,
The maroon.
maroon
Yeah.
is your favorite.
burgundy maroon? Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
favorite.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
go
think
with green.
summertime.
I like the green ones too.
The green,
Yeah.
the green is very like Busta Rhymes, it's like in your face. You know. what
Listen,
saying?
I like that.
I mean, I think they're all
Bust-
pretty much in your face.
Bust in
though.
your face. Pause.
Pause.
Hey, yo.
Come on,
Son,
Jerome.
what
You
are
gotta
you,
relax.
What are you on? What are you on?
I mean, I'm doing the
My man's on that
knowledge.
vacation mode right now.
I'm doing the knowledge.
He's in vacation
he's on
mode.
vacation mode for sure. He's lunching for real. He about
Oh
to be.
man.
He about to get tequila poured in his mouth and
Oh
Tulum
my
or some
God.
shit,
No, he
you know what
ain't.
I'm
Nah. No sir.
saying? But I think any other sneakers really dropping? Nothing else is too crazy.
Yeah,
Just a
carpet
bunch-
dunks.
Just a
Some
bunch
other
of
dunks are coming out too. The Curry dunks, like
The Dunk Highs.
dunk highs. I'm okay.
Aren't
I'm
those
good on
Curry?
Orange
those.
dunk highs.
Yeah, I'm good on those. I still need those UNLV joints. I need the Carolina blue and white women's dunk.
That was such a fire shoe.
Oh man, that shit is fire.
Such a fire shoe.
Yeah.
I need that shit. But yeah, no. Other than that, I'm good. I really want these Supreme dunks, but it's not gonna happen. I've
know what-
come
you
to
know what I
realization on that.
You know what I hate too is I really like Supreme's like little skate videos they put up. All the little videos they put on their Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I think their promo is fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you guys don't have to do this shit. Like
No,
you
it's gonna sell
basically
itself.
You're just flexing on everybody. Like you get
Yeah.
some kid in LA who's like torn the shoe to shreds, which is fine. You should skate your dunks. I agree with that. But the promo makes you want them even more when you know you. It's like pouring salt in a wound. It's like
Yeah.
you just, you know what I mean? It's just doing it worse. So shout out to anybody that does land those shoes, man. Big up to you. You know, we'll see how crazy the Supreme size
Listen,
is tomorrow.
size 9. Hold me down.
Yep.
Yeah. Size
Supreme, holla at
11,
us. Sponsor the show, man. Come on.
11 or 10 and a half if you're looking out for me.
Is James Jebbia still running the show at Supreme or somebody
Mhm.
else?
Oh, yeah. Nah, he's
James
big dog.
Jebbia, sponsor the show. Come on the show, please. And then
He's-
sponsor it. Come on, and then after that, sponsor it.
Noah has some dope
Or
stuff
just
dropping.
sponsor it.
Noah
Yeah, or
has
just
some dope
sponsor.
stuff dropping tomorrow too. Amy Leon DeRay put out their spring stuff last week. all of that sold out, and there was some fire in there. This cardigan was amazing. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of random stuff dropping. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Good luck to everybody listening. With the podcast episode 103, it's been fantastic. Shout out to my man, always available. Hashtag Streetwear Eddie.
Yo.
My man, Don't Charge Abdul.
Yes, sir. Fuck Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Just want to throw that out there. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, he can
He's
kick
a
rocks.
racist.
Shout
Fuck
out
out
to
of
the
here. You're
shout
an
out to
idiot.
shout out to the Phoenix Suns. It's DJ Jerome Baker III, and we're out. Peace.
Shout out to LeBron James.